live on my iPad. That was easy. I just pressed one button. I have to remember how to do that. Hello, Mama Bees, for dropping down in the chat. And this is going to be a live Survivor kind of recap, review, opinions, because since the beginning of the season, I'm rooting for Say. So this was the last time I got to use that thumbnail. Again, welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. If you have just entered, please like the video. This is a 3 p.m. live. I didn't really, as soon as I pressed it, it said, congratulations, you're live, or whatever they said. So right at 3, I will start the review. I hope everyone's having a great Thursday. I'm in a great mood because tomorrow's my last day of work before I'm able to go on my vacation. So I'm not going with the ladies, the panel. I think they've disclosed they're going to the Dominican Republic. My family and I are flying to LA, and we're going to have a 6-day cruise with Carnival. So I'm excited about that. I'm ready. I'm going to pull it up just to make sure the stream looks okay and that the sound is okay, and I can also see the chats. And we're right at 3 o'clock. So thank everyone that drops in. I also appreciate Team Replay, as I always tell Team Replay. Thank you so much when you're listening to the videos, watching as much of it as you choose to, pressing the like button, subscribe. I do appreciate that. That means a lot to the channel. And it's growing. It's growing slowly but surely, which is my goal. I have my next milestone is 500, so I'm 20 away from that. And then by the end of June, hopefully I will be at 1,000. So I'll see how I am as far as that goal. I'm not going to make it, so if I don't reach it, I'm disappointed or anything like that. I'm just going to do the best that I can do with it. Okay, so it's 3 o'clock exactly. I'm going to pull up my notes as well. And this episode was a pretty good episode. This is Survivor Season 48. And it was episode 7. I didn't write it down for some reason. But we started off, like from last week, we returned to camp. And Mitch returns really dejected. Mitch, for the second time, is not only on the wrong side of the vote, his best alliance member, Charity, was voted off. He knew that it would be between Say and Charity, but he thought that they were unanimous on Say. And I always am confused when people think that, because even if someone is annoying to other people, there's always a benefit to keep that type person around because they can steal votes away from you. Say was chaos, so she could have went last week, but she went now. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for dropping down into the chat. I do read the chat when I can, but when I first start doing a live recap, what I do is I give the review, and then the people that actually watch the show will talk about Survivor and what my opinions are on that episode. I want to also pull this up on my channel because when I'm recording on an iPad, when I do that, the chat is actually not readily visible to me, and so I miss some things, and I don't want to miss anything. Capricorn Flower, one of my moderators, thank you so much for stopping in, and I appreciate you. Thank you for being in the chat, and thank you for greeting everyone in the chat. I don't think I have it on subscriber mode, which is fine. I welcome everybody to the chat, but of course, as one of the moderators, you know what to do if you see anything that is unusual. So thank you so much, Capricorn Flower. Okay, so I was speaking about Mitch. Mitch has a confessional, and he's upset. He said he doesn't know where he stands within the merge, and he voted for Say, so he wants to talk to her. Now, we know that Say has been getting votes week after week. She's used to it, but it never stops impacting her. Say gets upset when she gets those votes, which I don't understand because Say knows that she's annoying. She was saying it, she's chaos. She knows that. Mary knows it. Everybody in the merge tribe knows it. Her original tribe knows it. Cedric, probably her closest tribe mate, knows it. So, but Say is upset. And she's so funny. She voted for Cedric. Cedric got that one vote, and it's killing him. He's going around. He's trying to find out who did it. And Say is making mischief. She has the nerve to say, I think it could have been Charity, because Charity's gone, of course. Say is the one that voted for Cedric. Confessional Say laughs and tells the viewer, she said, I voted for Cedric. And she said I used cursive so that he wouldn't know. Because one of the clues that Cedric was using, he said, I don't recognize that handwriting. I've been in a number of tribals with Say, and I know her handwriting, and I didn't recognize this handwriting. It was perfect penmanship. So Say's playing a little game with Cedric. So the next thing that happened was Mitch he's still pouting a little bit. I'm surprised that Mitch is one of my favorite players. I love his mood. I love his social game. He's friendly to everyone. He doesn't try to shut people out. He works really hard at the challenges, and he has endeared himself to the audience, to everyone, because even in his Survivor video, he spoke about having the speech impediment. And a lot of times, if Mitch is speaking slowly or he's not excited, you don't really notice it. Then sometimes if he speeds up or he's upset, there might be a little stutter. But I just think it's important to have him on there. And Mitch is one of my favorite people out there. He's sitting aside. Sahin comes up to him and he said he realizes that Mitch is upset, but the reason why he is on the outside of the vote was because someone came to him and told him to not let Mitch know what was happening. Welcome to the chat, Mama Beast. Thank you so much, one of my moderators. I was telling Capricorn Flower, I think it's on anyone instead of just subscriber mode, so you know what to do if you see anything that's unusual. Okay, so Joe also meets with Mitch, and he tells him he didn't think that it mattered. He didn't know that Charity and Mitch were that close. I don't know why Joe didn't know this, because Charity and Mitch were on original tribes together. We know they started out 6 on one tribe, 6 on another, 6 on another. And so those people, even though they would get into it, they still kind of have an alliance to their original tribe. And the only tribe that was still all 6 was Siva. So they were talking about, especially Charity, Siva strong. And Charity was doing that in particular when she knew that there were other people on her tribe that could kind of take her or leave her. Mainly David, who's a powerhouse. He's going to really factor into this episode. So Mitch builds a relationship with Joe, and he says he wants to, and also Sahin, because they're on a power group as well, because we have Joe, who feels like his number one would be between Eva and Sahin, and then they are also working with Camila and Kyle. Camila and Kyle are a secret alliance from their original tribe, and I like how they are under the radar. Nobody knows that they're as tight as they are, which is smart. They've been able to keep it a secret, which is good for the both of them. So Sahin, Eva, and Mitch are together. Everybody's just scrambling. They're kind of scrambling because today they're gonna have, excuse me, they're gonna have a unique challenge. Excuse me, I'll take some water. The unique challenge that they'll have today is it's for 2 immunities, not just individual immunity. 2 people will win the individual immunity, and also one of the tribes, they'll get divided into teams. So they'll split the 2 teams. There'll be 6 on one side, 6 on the other. Whoever wins, they will get a lunch. But Jeff is going to explain it when they go out to where they're meeting. Thank you, Mama Beast, for greeting everyone that enters the chat. So Say talks to Sahin, and she says that she realized they've never talked before, but Say is an upfront person. She cannot do surface level type stuff, so she just doesn't chit chat. And Sahin said he respects that. And he actually gave Say her respect. He said if we had been on the same tribe, I could see myself working with her, because I do like working with people that work like that. And Say, confessional Say, tells the viewer that she appreciates people that brings issues directly to her. So that's one of the things that is about Say. She's front on with people. Like when she and Mary won the same tribe and chasing each other around and looking for idols right in front of each other, that is the way that she plays the game. Now, when I'm in the Survivor comments and everything, there are people that are ready to Say to go. They've been ready for her to go week 1. That's why I kind of took her under my wing and said I'm rooting for Say. So she is still one of the people to play the games like that. All 3 of the people that are on the outs have consulted with Say, and he kind of think he's like a power broker, so he needs to lay a little lower than that, because Kyle in particular already sees Sahin as a threat. So this is interesting to see what this dynamic is going to be, because Kyle he kind of is in charge of the game as well, but he is a lot more under the radar. So I think that's kind of the best way to play, under the radar. I'm going to try to see if I can read some comments before I finish recapping this. Let me see. All right, we'll do live chat. Okay, there they are. Okay, Maverick is asking a question. If you want to, if someone wants to have dreads or locked hair and they're able to do that, I think that's beautiful. Now, if they were, I'm speaking about Survivor. If they were out on Survivor, that would probably be easier to maintain out there. Capricorn flop. Capricorn. My chat just went away. I'm gonna continue on with the review. Okay, so they go to the immunity challenge. The immunity challenge is, I kind of liked it because it's not just puzzles, it's not just a strength challenge. It's kind of tailored to each person. They take 25% of their original body weight, put it in a bucket, and they have to like hold it above their head. So it's one of those endurance challenges. That's what I call it, endurance challenges. So as the people drop off, Cedric gave an embarrassing showing everybody. Cedric only was able to hold up like 20 seconds, 22 seconds. And Jeff was like, Cedric's the first one out. As soon as he put it up, he said, Cedric, you got to work on that upper body strength. That was kind of embarrassing. So we have the person that lasts the longest out of each team. He split them into teams of 6 as soon as they got to the island. The people that last the longest, the 2 that are remaining, they're going to win individual immunity. And then the person that lasts the longest of those 2, in addition to that, they'll win lunch for their tribe. So they'll get to eat peanut butter and jelly. So peanut butter has protein. That's really good for people that they've been out in the jungle, they're hungry. So they will get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, chips, and the little stuff that goes with it. And something else he told they were going to get. So, and I don't know how he picked them. It was kind of random. So David and Joe end up winning individual immunity. And this was they actually set a record. So David won the sandwiches. He ended up outlasting Joe. While the 2 of them were still, the tribe was watching them, encouraging them. Say made the comment that it's like watching The Rock versus Captain America, because we know David is a stuntman. So and it was an interesting challenge. And then Joe, he's good looking. He does kind of put me in the mind of The Rock a little bit. And he's the fire captain. So he won individual immunity. David won individual immunity. David actually won the sandwiches. Jeff told the tribe that didn't win, they don't get anything, and they have to go back to the Siva beach. That is the beach that doesn't have a pot. They don't have any of the supplies. It's just going to be a miserable afternoon of everybody scrambling while they know everybody else is eating on the other team. And poor Mitch said that he is the only one that hasn't won any type challenge where he was able to eat since they've been out there. And they're at maybe day 13 or so. So that's a long time of rice, whatever, coconut or fruit that they find, and water. So poor Mitch. But he's still, Mitch is formidable in the challenges. I guess it's him being hungry and tired that he just didn't do well on this one. So Sawhin and the tribe, they're eating their sandwiches. They thank David. Cedric, Kyle, and Camila, they're eating as well. They keep talking about the Captain America versus The Rock type thing. And say they go back to the beach. And Kyle is saying that he doesn't trust Sahin. They're speaking freely because Sahin was on the tribe that he's part of the winners. Okay, one second. I'm sorry. Cedric, Kyle, and Camila are eating. Okay, so I apologize. Say asked Joe if she could bring him aside to talk, because they are the tribe that didn't win. They're back at the Siva beach. So she's in confessional. Say tells us, she said, I think that Joe's kind of an old school type player, and she read him correctly. He is an old school type player. He has his alliance. He doesn't run around trying to gather new people or do any scrambling. He's just Joe. He shows up for the challenges. He's helpful around camp, and that's just the way he plays. So he says, okay, he'll talk to her. So Say lets him know that she said that she's gonna vote for Mitch. She wanted to kind of pick Joe's brain about it. He didn't really go into it too much. Joe doesn't really care. He knows what he's gonna do. Say also separately pulls aside Eva, says she's going for Mitch. Eva's okay with that as well. She's planting seeds that Mitch is dangerous. So Say his name came up while Kyle and Camilla were on the beach. That's my notes were in two different places. I apologize for that. But Kyle and Camilla, while they were on the beach eating their sandwiches, Sohan is a part of their alliance that they made with Joe when they all bonded over a challenge that they had. But now Kyle is feeling that Sohan is at risk. I mean, he's a risky player because he is really smart. Kyle's smart too. He's strategic. So he feels like he's a threat. Chrissy is the other fire captain on the other tribe. She is, she was leaning towards Say, but she would be okay with Mitch. Chrissy is kind of, to me, she's a little bit all over the place, and they don't really let the viewer know what Chrissy's going to do. Even in her confessionals, a lot of times I don't know what Chrissy's talking about. So the tribe, when they get back, they end up going back to tribal council. Say mentions that there's honesty in the game, and Chrissy started saying that in Survivor, at some point, you got to get rid of the honesty because they're all going to start turning on each other. This seems to upset Joe, and honestly, I thought Joe was going to vote against Chrissy when she said that, because Joe has made it clear that he wants to play a game of integrity, an honest game, and then there are other people out there that are just, they're trying to maneuver and do a lot of little stuff, which is why I was so glad when Thomas got voted out. And it also kind of surprised me that Thomas from the California Girls Alliance was so tight with Joe when Joe has this integrity thing that he's always talking about as far as being part of the game. So as they go up to vote, Mitch ended up using his block a vote against Say. Say gets up there at tribal, looks down and picks up the pen to get ready to write. There's a note there that says your vote has been blocked. And she's like, these bastards. But Say is all into the game, so she wasn't mad about it, but she wasn't blindsided. She knew there was a good chance that she could go. So when she got back out, the votes went. The only other person that got a vote, of course, was Mitch, and that was Say's vote. So she was the next person voted out. And Jeff told her, I appreciate having you here, because she was a lot of fun to watch. And she said, thanks for the experience. He wished the other tribe mates good luck. So they left tribal council. The next tribe comes in. That's David's group. So they head to tribal council. Camila and Kyle, their duo, they've kind of went around camp telling people that Sayhan might have an idol to make him seem like a threat to David. So Sayhan said it's early in the game and they don't really need to consider jury management. That was the other big point I forgot to mention. I apologize. Say is the last person voted out that is not going to be a part of the jury. So we're not going to see her anymore until the reunion. So that she was kind of a character. So that's kind of sad, but that's how it works. But the people on this tribe during this vote, they are going to get a chance to be on the jury. They'll be on the jury, whoever's voted out next. So Sayhan said it is early in the game. Cedric says that Game recognizes Game. Cedric knows he's kind of on the bottom, but he's let everybody know as they were maneuvering that day that he's willing to kind of go whatever's going to save him. So David has the immunity idol. He said he realizes it gives him safety, so he has a little bit more security, at least for another day, and he can kind of talk to everybody without being worried about himself getting voted out. Mary says that they can still play an honest game because everybody in their last tribal did keep their word. So Mary didn't really show up a lot this episode. I like watching Mary. Mary is pretty funny. So Jeff says that someone's going to be voted out as a blindside, so they're not going to be able to continue to keep saying that the game is so honest when there's somebody going to be at the bottom of that vote and they're going home. Jeff makes an announcement. Anybody have an advantage, they can play it now. No one played an advantage. Sayhan got a vote. Cedric got the next 3 votes. When they got to vote number 4, Cedric was voted out. He is the first jury member. So that's going to be exciting. Cedric is first jury member on season 48 of Survivor. Sharon Gobble knew they were going to vote Say out. Yeah, I did too. I was rooting for her for week 1, but we told her last week, so you better start winning challenges. And let me go back, because people entered and I didn't get to speak. Thank Capricorn Flower and Mama Bees, everyone that came in speaking to everyone. Yeah, Sharon Gobble, those 2 men are strong. It was like The Rock and Captain America. I did like that analogy that they made, and saw him made it later. Sharon Gobble said there was no way they were going to let Say make it to the jury. I didn't think so either because she was a character. I like watching her. And then there were people that would kind of hate watching her. When you go to the CBS sites and also the Survivor sites, they're always complaining about her. They think she's a little too forward. But the thing is, Sahan's playing the same type game. He's out there. Kyle is attacking the game, and they don't attack him like that. New Orleans Diva 504. Hello, happy Thursday to you. Thank you for coming into the chat. Mama V is speaking to New Orleans Diva 504. At least Cedric made it to the jury. I'm happy, Sharon. I think, you know what? The way he went out, he was almost, I don't know how much more gas he had in his tank, especially with that challenge. He couldn't hold his 25% of his body weight up for 20 seconds. I'm not that strong as far as upper body strength, but I think I could do that. And there were some really little ladies, Mary, everybody outlasted him. He's literally the first one out. I don't know how to pin this chat. It just stays there. Okay. Sharon Gobble said the next target will be Star. Yeah, she is because they've been showing her a lot more. And she's one of the people I like as well. She's very encouraging to her tribe. They didn't like the fact that she went off to get her own advantage, but she gave it to Eva, so that kind of neutralized it a little bit. I still think that's going to come back to bite her. I don't think that was the smartest move in Survivor to give an advantage that you have an idol to someone else. And Eva mentioned it to Joe. Joe told her, don't give it back, which I wouldn't give it back either. But we know how they are with those targets. They got Say, they got Cedric. Once they're gunning for Star, she better start winning challenges too. I don't know what she can do other than win challenges because I don't trust these alliances. Camila and Kyle, we'll see how far that goes. They previewed next week, and it looks like there's going to be some cracks in the strongest alliance, which is David. David is smarter than I think. He's out there to win that $1 million because he claims he has a girlfriend that told him she wants 4 kids. She doesn't want to work, and if he doesn't win that $1 million, she's probably not going to be with him anymore. And then we find out that he lives in a RV outside his parents' house. So David was telling all his business out there. New Orleans Diva is speaking to everyone. Okay, that was a pretty short review, like 20 minutes or so. But I like doing it the day after it comes on while it's still fresh in my head, and then I still have my notes as well. I see a lot of people that were in the Dropping Extra Sassy Tea Talk last night. That was pretty good, wasn't it, everybody? That was fun. Because we all have such different, we're similar on some things, but we do have different views when it comes to, I'm sorry, everybody that's not familiar. I'm here to speak about Survivor, but I also review a show called Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we were talking about that in a panel that I was on last night. So that was pretty exciting. And there's still news coming out about Kenya Moore and what's going to happen with that. I found out she has a YouTube channel. She's going to be on Nene's YouTube channel. So we'll see how long it takes Nene to get this interview together and get it out. I'm going to watch that because that's going to be really interesting. Portia has a YouTube channel. I couldn't listen to that lady. I like Portia. Portia can be funny, but if Portia's lying or she's just being silly, I don't have time for it. I'm not going to sit there and watch her be silly. In addition to the show, I don't mind watching her on Housewives, but now you got a whole channel. We supposed to come over there and watch that? No. New Orleans Diva, was a great discussion. I clicked live in all y'all's channel. Yes, thank you so much. I saw you in the chat. Sometimes I get distracted and I can't go in the chat, but I did see you in there. And then I think you were still in there and you had a good suggestion about possibly Essence Fest or even Mardi Gras or something like that. So we were speaking about, we're in different areas of the country. And so we like to do something regional and just get some of the subscribers together at a time. That would be really great because we do have a community where we're starting to. Thank you so much. I forgot to mention my shirt, Sharon Gobble. This is our Saturday morning Soul Train. My sister gave me this shirt. She was teasing me, you're going to be running out of shirts. So she got me this one and a couple of other ones. This is my Soul Train shirt. I appreciate everybody stopping by this live review, and I'll just go ahead and end the review. And if I have any more topics, I'll go ahead and pre-schedule it so I can get it on the YouTube schedule, and it's supposed to send notifications and all that. And I have been having better luck with that. So thank everybody for dropping by, joining me on this Thursday at Sandra P's Gen Extra. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I appreciate everybody that has come in. Thank you. We had a few new people in the chat today too, but I don't know what direction that was going in. But everyone is welcome. All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye.